Alright, I will run the pre-show ads right quick. You there, Shredney?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, just checking. What's he up to?
Uh, Not a whole lot.
Are you chilling? Don't at me today. I'm chilling.
Hmm.
Oh
I
god, I
suppose.
forgot to change the stream name. Oh no.
Oh no.
Let me do that right quick. Nobody's here yet. We're safe. Shapes and forms. Yeah.
Hmm.
Game's gonna be Enter the Gungeon. Okay. Oh no! Go got here before I finished changing the stream name. Now our reputation is tarnished. The
Oh
reputation we
no.
the reputation we definitely have. Anyway, there's ads.
Clearly.
Hello, Janik. I don't know if Janik got to hear me say that before I turned the ads on. Ah.
Huh.
Bow. Anything going on my server while this what's going on over here? What is Torizo? Shreddy, do you know what Torizo is?
Let me see. Where? What are you talking about?
Torrizo. Torizo.
Well, I know what chorizo is.
What's
But that's not
chorizo?
spelled the same way.
Chorizo's up here. What's chorizo?
Chorizo is sausage.
Oh. I'm here for the crunching and the munching. I hope we can provide you some crunching and or munching, Go-Go.
Chorizo.
Hey,
Chorizo.
thank you WM Radar for the follow. I don't know who that is, but they followed us. Our channel. Technically my channel, but you know.
Let's see. There's a character called Chorizo in well, it's a type of enemy in Super Metroid.
Yeah.
There's also
You're sure Shreddy's going to provide you with all the munching? Oh no, has Shredny SMR become something people actively look forward to? I've had nightmares about this.
oh no. I mean,
The
let me see.
Rum-Tum Tugger is a curious cat. We're getting some fun stuff going on in the couple minutes before the show actually technically begins. We got 20 seconds remaining.
Oh my god, Mur, are you really quoting T.S. Eliot's Book of Practical Cats at me?
I think he's just quoting it in general, like at everybody.
I just... Why? I mean,
All
why
right.
not? But
That's
still.
the ads over. I'm gonna play the intro. Everybody brace yourself.
Braced.
When my baby heard bum 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 bum, every word went straight into her heart. And when she heard them singing, ram a lam a lam a lam a lam a ding dong, she knew we never had to part. Yeah. Who put the bump in the bump the bump the bump? Who put the ram in the ram a lam a ding dong? Who put the bump in the bump the bump the bump? Who put the dip in the dip the dip the dip? Who was that man? I'd like to shake his hand. He made my baby fall in love with me.
Shapes and forms.
Hello, everybody. It is 9 p.m. on the East Coast, 8 p.m. in Chicago, and that means that it's time for Shapes and Forms. My name is Planet Jane, and I am joined this evening by Shredny Vashtar.
Bomb!
Eventually, you're gonna run out of funny sounds to make. You know that, right?
I sincerely doubt that.
Anyway, we are ASAP Vash. Anyway, we are opening
Dab.
with an old favorite for the show today. We're opening with Enter the Gungeon. Does the game sound a little bit quiet to you guys in the chat? It sounds a little bit quiet to me. I would like to turn it up, but unfortunately, the volume mixer is not one to cooperate. Hold on. Volume mixer. Can I get the volume mixer? That's not the volume mixer. That's the general audio settings. This is a crime that you're doing to me right now, Windows. Hopefully it's fine. You've never actually completed a run of this game? You're in good company. I've completed some of the runs of, like, the first final boss, if that's a phrase that makes any sense. But I've never gotten to, like, the true ending. Despite, some attempts. This is one of 3 games that were S tier on Northern Lions roguelite rankings, and thus one of just a few higher than Isaac. I think that's fair, honestly. Like, the only thing Isaac has over this, I think, is that it is easier, which is, like, either a complaint or a compliment, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, how's everybody doing this fine evening? Treadney? Treadney?
Yeah, I'm right here.
You said, ah, and then you just, like...
I said I'm doing okay.
Oh, for whatever reason, that didn't come through. Janik finished Yakuza 3 and 4. Marie, my roommate, likes those games. I don't know specifically about 3 or 4. Our good friend Altruazine ate part of a bus. Very standard Altruazine information.
Yeah.
A lady at work turned 100 today. Shout out to Anne. Can we get Anne in the chat, please?
That's... Wow. Jeez.
Hey, thank you, Ty the Boss, for the follow. Kiwami 2? I'm not familiar with what Kiwami 2 is. I know only the vaguest outlines of the Yakuza franchise. I know that it's about...
That means that she was legally able to vote when, like, several years before we entered World War II.
Yeah. That her first election would have been, Hold on, I can back engineer this. If she's 100 years old, she was born in 1920. So...
yeah, beginning in 1920.
She would have turned 18 in 1938.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I meant to do.
Which
was that an election year?
Was 38 an election year? I mean, it probably was an election year at least for Congress.
Well, yeah, but I meant presidential.
Presidential election year. Let's see, 20.
Was it FDR? I feel like she definitely would have been able to vote either for or against FDR, depending on her political stances.
I'm pretty sure that it was...
the voting... Altruazine raises a good point. The voting age was 21 at the time. So she would have been able to first vote in 1941.
And I think... Yeah, but I think, but she probably could have voted for FDR regardless, because...
Yeah,
literally he died in 45.
Literally our longest serving president.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find that, like, not a lot of people know that anymore for some reason. I was always taught that in school, like, question of who was the longest serving U.S. president, FDR, because he's the only one who had more than 2 terms.
Yeah.
But people don't seem to necessarily know that fact anymore.
Although it is interesting to note that Grover Cleveland had 2 non-consecutive terms.
Yeah, like, I guess not, Janik. Yeah, Grover Cleveland had 2 non-consecutive terms, but FDR was elected 4 times, and
Mm-hmm.
people were so mad about it that they implemented the 2-term rule.
Yeah.
Okay, Trey, we'll see you next week.
Okay. See you
Have a
next
good
week.
one. If you later decide that you want
Ugh.
to come in anyway, do feel free to come on in, but if you're sitting this one out, have a good night. Don't get us started on Tippecanoe. Who's us?
Oh dear.
We got some new people in the chat tonight. That's always good to see.
Tippecanoe and Taylor too.
That was William Henry Harrison's election campaign, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
Or
'cause
Tyler
he was,
too, rather.
yeah, because he was the one who died like a month after he got sworn in. Because he ate a bunch of he like ate a bowl of cherries and drank a pitcher of milk and caught like pneumonia or something. Which
Yeah, it was
isn't funny, but it is funny now that it's happened like 200 years ago. William Henry Harrison owes me $6, which is a fair amount of cash at the time.
frozen.
Hey Shredney, I don't know if you're coming through very well.
Yeah, the connection froze immediately after you said that he got pneumonia, and then I didn't hear the rest of that.
That's very strange. Can you guys hear me okay out in Twitch
I
land?
mean-
I can try like turning the screen share off or something, although I'd rather not. You can hear me fine. Okay, so I guess the problem is on Shredney's end. That sucks.
Let me see.
Cause like I can hear you fine now.
Huh. There seems to be. Do I sound fine now?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Hopefully that solves that problem. Also, man, I'm out of practice in this game, and you can tell. Taking 3 freaking damage on the first floor, 4 damage. It's too much. Also, I would love to buy the Gundromeda strain because it's a fun item with a name that is a reference to a movie I've never seen.
Yeah, it's about a space virus or space bacteria, rather.
Space virus. Space virus, parentheses, a virus from space.
Michael Crichton was a weird guy.
Is that the guy that directed it?
He wrote it, the
He wrote
novel.
the
He also
book that
wrote
it's based on.
Jurassic Park.
Oh, alright. Michael Crichton died? I don't know, did he?
Yeah, a while ago.
Oh. Rest in peace.
Like years upon years ago. Yeah, Michael Crichton. Michael Crichton.
Michael Crichton.
Like over a decade ago, I'm pretty sure.
Huh. This is a wild series of facts I'm getting dropped on me in short succession here.
What?
The stuff, apparently, the stuff that Murr brought up in chat, which I'm not gonna repeat out loud because it's pretty bad.
It's like,
The less bad of the two things is that apparently he was a global warming denialist. Wow, I just died on the first floor. Okay. Alright. Okay. Quick restart. I need to get my head in the game, apparently. Like that annoying song from High School Musical. Let's go. Shredney, have you been absorbed into Michael Crichton facts?
I was just going to look up the thing about the global warming denialism thing.
you know, it is one of the, like, whenever I learn, like, that some famous person believes a whack thing, my response is usually like, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, to say the least.
Yeah.
Anyway, I saw Jurassic Park in theaters as not the first one, but one of the sequels, like, as a very small child, apparently, and I do not remember doing so.
Huh.
I apparently liked it, which, like, tracks, because I liked the dinosaurs when I was young.
Yes.
I know John Stepling is a huge fan of this stream. I don't think that's true. I'm not even quite sure I know who John Stepling is.
He's a playwright and he's very pretentious.
Oh, okay. I mean, you know, we do sometimes talk about silly subjects on here that a person like that might be interested in. Theoretically speaking. What's in here? The flare. He's a tanky. Well, that's not good. Those movies aren't for kids? Yeah, like, I don't know, like, I guess this is like a cultural thing. This is thing where, I don't really think it's quite as much of a thing anymore, but it's a thing with American parents where you would just bring your kids to, like,
And also, like,
R-rated movies
also the thing is,
for no reason.
like, like, my parents, like, largely understood that if something was too much for me, I would let them know. You know?
See, when I say that I was a very small child, I mean I was like 3.
Yeah, but to be fair, this is questionable, but my sister, when she was like 5, was watching Gladiator on TV with my dad.
Are you not entertained?
Indeed. So, I don't know.
I've shared this story on stream before, I think, but my stepdad, when I was like a little bit older, like the sort of 8 to 12 age range, my stepdad had a very weird idea of what was like good culture to expose a still pretty young child to. And he would make me watch, like, quote-unquote classic films from the 80s.
Oh dear.
Including such things as, like, Back to the Future and Ghostbusters.
I mean,
which, like,
those aren't wildly inappropriate.
No, but it's still... They're not really kids' movies, either.
Nah, like, there's a lot of stuff that's gonna go over a kid's head in Ghostbusters, but I did like Ghostbusters.
I actually distinctly remember not liking it. He also, I know I've told this story on stream. He made me watch, the, like, extended cuts of all 3 Lord of the Rings films in, like, one day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I mean, granted, that's something that like, my family did at least once. But that's because...
But, like, voluntarily, I assume.
Yes, voluntarily.
Yeah,
Because
no, that's like
them
13 hours of film, yeah.
We had seen the, theatrical cuts in the theaters.
Yeah, the WM, I mean, who was it? Peter Jackson made those movies?
Yes.
The
Yes,
Peter Jackson films, all 3 of them. In back to back to back. Your families are whack. I was the most patient child in the world. No, you don't understand. He made me watch them. I didn't want to. Your 12-year-old brother's favorite movie is Goodfellas. That's amazing.
That is pretty great.
What does the battle standard do? I don't think I've ever seen this item before. Improves the effectiveness of companions and charmed enemies. Alright, well, that's basically useless right now. Sorry, go on.
But yeah, I don't know. It's like when I was like, I think 12 or 13, I spent my birthday watching all of the Alien movies up to that point in a row.
That's...
I
don't
mean,
know.
that does, like, you could say that does track with who I am.
A little bit, but also, like... I don't know. I don't think kids should watch Alien.
No, they probably shouldn't, but I don't care.
Like, not that you can, like, do anything about it now. But it's just, like... Also, I got hit, so no HP upgrade for me. I would prefer not to die a second time, though, would be a nice thing.
Resurrection is a weird film.
I've never seen any of the Alien movies, actually.
The first one is fantastic. The second one, I haven't seen in a while, but is solid. Third one isn't as good, and Resurrection is a mess, but has some interesting ideas, kinda.
What's the other one? That's Prometheus, right? It's like loosely connected to the franchise somehow.
Yeah, Prometheus is like a prequel
Okay.
of sorts. A distant prequel.
Most of what I know about Alien is that the company in it is called Wayland Yutani, which
Yes.
I've always thought was like the standard for like weird future-y company names.
It's a good weird future-y company name.
It is. What's this? The Void Marshal. Okay. Alien.
Oh my, this is a ranking. I mean, like, actually, arguably, Prometheus is... Yeah, I would say that Prometheus is somewhere around there in terms of, like... At least in terms of craft. The thing is, I don't know how much I actually like it. It's a weird example of a film I greatly respect, but I don't know how much I actually like it.
Actually, Altruzine brings up reading stuff that parents would not have approved of, and that I did a lot more than watching stuff.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, it's like... But I don't know, it's like, I didn't... Like... I didn't, you know... I don't think that any of the stuff I was exposed to was damaging, because I had, like, a clear understanding of the difference between fantasy and reality, and that, yeah...
Sure, I mean, the thing is, like... You know, whenever anybody talks about, like, media fucking you up as a kid, the example they always think of is, like, the most extreme case possible. I think a lot of the time, like, if something did impact you in a way that was negative, you probably wouldn't know.
Yeah, it would be
'Cause, like,
very subtle and weird.
Yeah, like, there's no fork in the road where you can be like, well, like, you can't figure out what you would have been like if you hadn't read it. You know what I mean?
Fair. But I don't know. It's like, I didn't care for a long time. I didn't, like, as a kid, when I was particularly young, I didn't care for a lot of violent media to begin with. Which, I mean, but I did like some fairly, you know, like, horror-ish stuff and science fiction stuff, and some of which was distinctly not age-appropriate, but, you know.
I'm not talking about trauma necessarily, Go-Go, just like, I don't know. It's a hard thing to get into, and none of us are psychologists, so what do we know, you know?
Yeah.
I guess that's all I'm getting at. I also played a lot of things I definitely shouldn't, which I'm thinking of because Go-Go mentioned Unreal Tournament 2, which I think I actually did play Unreal Tournament 2. I know I played the one, like the first one for the original Xbox, which was only multiplayer.
In terms of video games, I mostly played. We didn't have any sort of video game consoles, and the PC games that I played were either, sort of educational puzzle games or stuff like Riven and Myst.
Now, see, I feel like that tracks really well.
And also just the stuff that I found interesting in that sort of vein was.
All right, go. Well, I'm not gonna comment on that.
I mean,
but
like Riven, I found the aesthetic of wandering around and just not interacting with like characters kind of interesting, because that's how I played as a child. Was I would be alone and make up stories. And I found like a lot of video games very noisy and requiring too much coordination that I did not have. Like I could not throw or catch a ball. I was bad at those things. So do this task that involves going up, down, left, right. No, I'm not good at those things. And also just they generally didn't have stories that interested me.
What is this? Blue Guanstone on my side. Treadney should play that one mod of Dark Souls that makes all the enemies not do anything. I forgot about that.
That could be interesting.
That is
yeah,
a mod that exists. I really like the lake under the giant tree in Dark Souls, which I'm now forgetting the proper name of. Ash Lake, I think.
Dark Souls has extremely interesting lore, and I would be interested in doing that.
Yeah. I will say, and I know this is always a touchy point to get into, and I want to make it very clear before I say this that I don't think that playing games how you want to play them is, like, ever objectionable in any serious sense of the word. However, I do think that Dark Souls kind of would lose a little bit of something if you just went through it without actually fighting, because like the vibe that it's going for is very oppressive, I guess.
Yeah, but to be fair,
Dark Souls wins by doing absolutely nothing. I mean, there's always like holes and stuff you gotta avoid falling into, especially in the freaking second game. That area after, God, I'm forgetting the name of it. But there's that like pirate town with all the undead Viking dudes in it that is really annoying for that. But go on, Treadney.
I don't know. I was just sort of thinking of the fact of, I recall watching something a while back of a guy talking about this, was with that one of the, apparently there are people who complain that the architecture in Dark Souls 2 isn't like consistent with reality. And then I thought, and this guy said the same thing, I was thinking, actually that's interesting to me, because the idea of depicting a world falling apart through literally impossible
I remember when that game came out, a lot of people, even people that I otherwise respect, were extremely down on the logically impossible architecture for what still seems to me like no real reason. I think people had a lot of preconceptions about that game before they played it, and they colored how it was received.
And apparently also because the enemy design and like the way that the combat works is more like focused on like very like you're dealing with another human almost. or so far as I understand.
I wouldn't say that. Like, the AI in Dark Souls is, by
Well, not-
design, pretty dumb.
Well, I'm not saying like against another. I mean in the terms of like that the. How do I put it? It's like as opposed to things which are extremely not people shaped.
I guess most of the enemies in Dark Souls 2 are human-ish. There's a couple things that are not. The claw monsters in the aforementioned pirate area and some other stuff like that. But yeah, I guess so. The whole thing, like with the the curse going through everywhere. It does give off that vibe. Most of the bosses in Dark Souls 2 are just like big dudes, which is another thing that I think people kind of complain about for no reason. But again, that's just me. Most player invaders are worse than the NPC invaders? I don't know if I agree with that. Well, actually, I don't know. Dark Souls 2 was like the only game in the series where I felt like I really had a handle on the multiplayer combat. So maybe I do agree, actually, now that I think about it. I enjoyed being a Bell Sentinel in that game, or whatever the hell they were called.
But yeah, I really do enjoy what I know about, like, the sort of premise with Dark Souls of that, like, there's a part of me that it really appeals is that sort of cosmic pessimist element of being, this sort of quote-unquote chosen person in a world that is supposed to die.
Yeah,
and that is
the thing
essentially that the world itself is this thing that is clinging on to life unnaturally long.
The thing is that the games are open enough to interpretation that you can interpret it that way, or you can make the Vorpal gun? Well, I have to take this. What's going on here? Sorry, I've been sidetracked. Occasionally deals massive damage. Alright.
Okay.
Keep that on my person.
But what were you saying?
Yeah, shit, I've completely lost my train of thought. What was I talking about?
Was about the interpretation of Dark Souls.
Yeah, no. Like, you can interpret it that way. The other way to interpret it is that what you're doing genuinely is heroic, just, like, really hard. And I think those are both reasonably valid ways to read the story. Some of the games, the individual games tend to kind of favor one over the other. Like, the first game is very pessimistic at the ending. The second is kind of in the middle, and the third is a little bit more optimistic. It's all relative, of course. But...
I mean, to my understanding is that part of it is that you kind of are almost given the option of, like, part of your mission is, like, it's not necessarily that the world needs to die because nothing will happen later, but rather that it's cyclical.
Yeah,
that needs to die for another world to be born.
It's a very it's an interesting game. Like, we could argue up and down about this for hours, which I think that in of itself is a testament to how thematically strong it is.
Yeah, exactly. And
the world is dead.
What did Merge say about Brian Evanson?
He said that he made a sweet Brian Evanson reference.
It's like those Brian Evanson stories where, what did he say? I can't see the whole comment.
It's like the Brian Evanson stories where the character isn't sure what's happening because they have some kind of trauma or mental problem.
Oh yeah,
I don't know who Brian Evenson is, but
Brian
I assume that is fine.
Evenson is a writer who. How do I explain Brian Evenson?
Also, Go-Go, I don't really agree with that.
He's sort of in that nether realm between like being, like considered a quote-unquote literary author and like, a straight up like cosmic horror author, but like, or absurdist horror
Me,
author, really.
like hissing in the corner at the words litfic.
Exactly. But like,
I don't
he's,
like that term. But go
yeah,
on.
me neither.
Go on.
But so like he's actually Eloise's favorite author. I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'm quite fond of him myself. His first short story
Hello,
collection was A Collapse of Horses, which is the title
That's
story.
what it's called when Hasbro discontinues the My Little Pony line.
So, like, the title story is about this guy who was injured in some kind of accident. Like, there was a fire apparently, and his family died, or did they? And
Or did they? Sorry.
And the inciting incident for whether or not this guy, like, realizing how this guy may or may not actually have any real grasp on reality, is that he becomes preoccupied with that he walks over and he sees a field, like a cordoned off field of a farm, and there are these horses just lying on the ground like they've all collapsed. And he can't really tell if they're alive or dead or sick or just sleeping. And he becomes he becomes kind of obsessed with it later. Like, he can't get the image out of his head. And the story kind of revolves around that and other stuff. And it's like that quiet kind of uncomfortable.
Sure.
Like, and a lot of his stories are like that. Like, that there's not necessarily anything overtly so supernatural going on, but there's just, like, something very off on a very fundamental level.
Also, Go-Go, obviously you are entitled to your opinion, but I just, like, the vagueness of the writing in Dark Souls is part of the point. It's not like an accident.
Oh yeah, like the director has talked about how it was inspired by him reading what he knew were like sort of like later realized were kind of like imperfect translations into Japanese of Western fantasy novels, and him trying to capture the feeling of ambiguity from the phrasing in those things and try to like make the sort of book he would want to read in like game.
My flare gun is green now, and it does poison damage instead of fire. What? How did that happen?
Okay.
I guess it's one of those item combinations that exists in the game. Yeah, like I'm not talking about the fan theories though. Like I am aware that people do the like extensive headcanoning, and I think that's like cool that they can do that. Okay, but the depth is not like detail.
Yeah, depth is different from detail.
Yeah.
Like, again, I would say actually that Brian Evenson provides a great example is I'd say that a story like oh god, what was it called? The Blood Drip, which is the last story in A Collapse of Horses, which is kind of a sequel to the first story in the collection, which the title is escaping me right now. but also in a way that just makes it more baffling. Like, it explains things, quote unquote, but it also makes, oh, the first story is Black Bark. Sorry, I got it. That is a fantastic story, by the way, and so is Blood Drip, but they're necessarily of a piece. That story doesn't actually have a whole lot of detail in it. Like, there's no explanation for what the fuck is going on. Like, there is and there
I
isn't.
think that's kind of a different thing.
But I would say that it is very philosophically deep in what it's trying to do.
Also, like, I mean, in the first place, depth in a story is kind of a muddy concept.
It really is.
Like, what do you say something is deep or not deep? Dip people, like, what are you referring to?
Like, I would say that, like, depth, in terms of, if you're going to take it relatively literally, is how much, meaningful interpretation can be mined from it.
I really hate this boss. Me too, Janik. The balloon gun.
Like, how much stuff can you get from it that isn't necessarily spelled out to you?
Yeah. I think Dark Souls' main strength, writing-wise, is that it, like, that feeling that he's going for of, like, this is a fantasy story of some kind, but you don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, I don't care about that, Goku. Like, I'm not trying to be rude. That's just, like, not why I think their writing is good. I am aware that there's people who do think that, and I think that they're silly. Oh, okay. Well, then we're just talking about two different things, which is also fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah. Let's talk about the lore in Enter the Gungeon, of which there is some, but kind of...
Okay, it's unfrozen now. Good.
What?
Sorry, for a second there, the thing froze for me again.
Oh, you know why that happened? Probably is because Windows decided that now is a really good time to tell me that it needs to install a system update.
Yeah, it's also, like, bizarrely enough, when I go to check my settings, it also seems to turn off my VPN.
No
I have no idea why it does that.
Gungeon is the Dark Souls of roguelikes. This game does actually have lore, yes, but it's like Isaac, where, like, there is a plot, but I don't know how much most people care.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, I feel like you're in the wrong game if you're looking for a super deep story. Although the fact that all the bullet zombies are called the Gun Dead is really funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, I am going to quickly, tell this that I'm not installing these right now because I am concerned that if I don't, no, you cannot do it at 11 p.m. today, because that's the end of the show. You can do it tomorrow, okay? Okay. I know you were memeing at GoGo, but if I don't engage with what people say in the chat, I have little material to talk about. Yeah, like, I think that Isaac is a game where the fact that it has a plot is kind of obscured by the form that it takes. Because even though there is actually, like, a fairly interesting story there, it's all in, like, stuff between the levels, which you're skipping most of the time if you're just, again, playing it while listening to podcasts or what have you. feel like is a very personal story for Edmund. Yeah, probably. I mean, you know, he can draw easy parallels there, I think. Probably not without merit. Oh, the item design, yeah, you know, the item design in Isaac has its peaks and valleys. There's some items that people like. Most people seem to absolutely hate that I think are interesting, but there's also a fair amount that don't. Like in practical terms, they do very little. There's like 5 different items in that game that are just single heart upgrades. Oh yeah, the Keeper is not a great character in that game. I do like that he starts with triple shot, but that's kind of the only thing he has going for him. You know, I'm sort of amazed that I got down this far in the game, but also, I don't know how much farther I'm gonna get. If I die soon, we might switch over to Snaky Bus a little bit early, which, by the way, we're playing Snaky Bus in the midsection.
Yes. It's a snaky bus.
It's a Snaky Bus. You familiar with Snaky Bus, Shredney?
You've mentioned it before, and it sounds like a time.
It's a time. I think that's a fair way to put it. Oh, okay, there we go. The pills especially, like, there's a bunch that just, like, the quote-unquote neutral ones, like, literally don't impact your run at all. It's weird. But, yeah, we're gonna switch over to Snaky Bus a little bit early, because that game... You watched the Snaky Bus video earlier today. Okay, good. I'm glad somebody's still watching Indie Bazaar. I put those videos up, and they get, like, 4 views ever, and it's a little disheartening. But, we're gonna turn that on. Basically right now. Yeah. The game looks jank. That's true, but that's kind of part of the appeal. Hey. You know it's a good game when it has the Made in Unity logo, at the startup? Because they didn't pay for the professional version of Unity. You still there, Shredney?
Yes.
Okay. You guys interested in some lo-fi hip-hop beats to drive a large bus to? That's kind of what this game's soundtrack has going on. And I appreciate it, to be honest with you.
I am just reading that comic that Mer posted about in NSF Wonder about Andrew Lloyd Webber.
I didn't see that one, but
Oh my god.
I don't know if I want you to describe it.
It's
All you see is black. I haven't added the game capture yet. Give it 1 second.
Oh my god.
There it is. Alright, folks. This is Snaky Bus. We're gonna click to continue. I'm gonna do single player. There is a multiplayer in this game. No idea how that works. I've not checked that out at all. But if you saw the video earlier today, well, it actually went up yesterday, but if you saw the video that I did on this, you're already familiar with what it's all about. If you haven't seen that video, I'll explain it, because it's pretty simple. You guys are all familiar with, classic, like, phone game Snake?
Originally, like a really old arcade game.
I think it was actually like an Atari original or something like that. But it's
maybe
an
not
old
arcade,
game.
but it's from the period when arcade games were still
Simple
very
like that.
like
Yeah,
the
haven't played Snake since I had a flip phone. Yeah. Snaky Bus is basically that, but with a very slightly different fail condition, which is that if you can't move, you lose, and you're a bus. I am fond of the party bus because it says gay rights. We're gonna play it on the Seattle map. This game is very janky, but I like that about it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the point.
You liking the vibe, Shredney?
Oh, do you absorb pedestrians?
Yeah, you absorb the passengers and you drop them off, and that increases the length of your snaky bus.
Okay,
Paris.
how do you
Yeah.
how do you see how long your bus is?
Well, that's one way, is if you fall over and can't get back up again. I think we might have just lost already. Yeah, okay.
Oh no.
An annoying thing about this is that you can't, like, for some of the maps, you can't just hit the restart button. You have to actually go back to the main menu and do it, or else it'll put you on a different map by accident. Hopefully they fix that at some point. Actually, maybe that's what the update that came out today did, because there was a small update earlier today. But, yeah, you absorb the passengers, you drop them off at your location of choice.
I appreciated Will's
Will.
Ken Kesey joke.
Oh no, it's WM Radar.
Or WM Radar. Okay.
Which I choose to
Confuse
believe is
people.
pronounced WUM Radar, even though it's
Wum.
probably not. Like the band Wum Burps, The Hideous
Worm.
Truth. Worm. Whoa, oh no, oh no, oh no! Fuck. Yeah, okay.
Oh god, oh fuck, oh god,
Oh
fuck.
god, oh fuck, oh god, oh fuck. Should I play again? Nah, it always it loads the Paris map instead sometimes when you...
Okay,
yeah.
Owsley Stanley presents Snaky Bus is
But this
also
map is-
very strong.
This map is fine too, but I like the aesthetic a little bit less. But,
Welcome to France.
France. But yeah, your bus
Get
grows
in
longer.
the France.
Your
bus.
bus grows longer, and you have to avoid stopping at any cost. Which the
Oh
obvious...
wow, that sounds like my first time.
Shredney, I'm going to murder you in cold blood. Also, you know, the map is an obstacle on its own, but as your bus begins to elongate, which, by the way, if that happens for more than 4 hours, do call your doctor. As the bus begins to elongate, you become an obstacle of yourself. Rainbow bus elongation, yes. The rainbow bus is not the only one. There's several buses. I have all of them unlocked, so we will cycle through different buses. Make no mistake about that. See here, look.
Oh no! But
There
you
is-
can jump over yourself.
There's like a jump jet installed in your bus, which is very good. Which it's also pretty much necessary.
Oh my god,
for,
you're following yourself
Yeah,
now.
yeah. This is like the flow of the game. Is if you want to actually get a good score, you have to really pay attention. How come nobody told you about this? I only learned about it myself a few days ago. It was on sale for only $2.50. I think it still might be. The base price is $10, which I think is a little bit pricey for this sort of game, but $2.50, like donut price, box of donut price. That's a good price for something like this.
Yes.
Also, great soundtrack. Like no irony or memes in that statement whatsoever. I really like the soundtrack to this. As I said, lo-fi hip-hop beats to become a monstrous eldritch bus too. Yeah, that's really weird, Murray. If anybody's not familiar, which you actually probably aren't, Room of 1000 Snakes was a game, quote-unquote, developed by perpetually weird people, the Arcane Kids, and it was disguised as an adventure game, but all it actually was you would go into a room, and it would begin playing
Bittersweet Symphony
by The Verve, and you would have a bunch of snakes thrown at your face. Yes.
Yeah, it would just, the room would fill with snakes.
Yeah, it was very fun. I don't like most of what the Arcane kids do, but I like that.
Yeah, it's like this weird Dadaist something.
Yeah. There's a video of it on Murr's channel, which I forget the name of your channel, Murr, but if you want to like drop a link after whenever
unfortunately one of my all-time favorite episodes of Watch and Play had its audio removed because they played Room of a Thousand Snakes and somebody copyright struck them.
Is this the LSD bus? No, it's the party bus. Party bus. That's one for all of you ex-tropers in the audience.
Okay,
you don't remember Party
context
bus?
for... Okay, explain.
You don't remember Party bus? The Party
No, I
bus, yes. It was just like a weird in-joke on I think started on Yakfest and then kind of
Oh dear.
ballooned out to the rest of the site to some extent.
Oh dear.
There's really no further context. It's just like a drawing of a bus, and it says Party bus.
That is not surprising.
And we're playing as it. This is actually called the Party Bus, by the way. I didn't make that up. Whoa. Okay, we're good.
I mean, for a certain value of good.
Look, I choose to believe that the bus in this game is some kind of, like, SCP.
Yeah.
That is not...
Yeah.
It's like, they haven't contained it yet. And its thing is that it, like, magnetically absorbs people and grows longer by dropping them off at important tourist sites.
That sounds like an actual SCP.
I know! That's why I'm saying it.
Honestly, I'm personally... Has nobody... I wonder if, like, somebody...
What?
Do you think somebody will try to submit this as a joke SCP?
You're actually not supposed to do that. Like,
Alas.
Like, it because of possible, like, copyright problems.
Yeah,
They don't want
that. Yeah.
skips that are just a thing, but, like, serial numbers filed off. Reminds me of Thinkin' Things Collection 2. I don't know what that is, actually, I don't think. But yeah, like, after you get things going good, you just kind of get into a flow state. Some of the maps are a lot easier than others. Like the Seattle one we started out on is pretty hard. Paris is pretty... easy? Alright, well, you know, that all worked out in the end.
We're at 297.
Yep, I think that's the number of
300.
cars, just for the record.
We're
Like, the bus carriages, the segments, whatever you want to call them.
This is bizarre and also extremely good.
It's, like, a really fun game. I was out of bounds.
I love that you... Yeah, but I mean, I kind of... Oh my god, I love that it's just, like, explodes into flames and then all the people are shooting out of it.
Yeah. Also, you can fly cam, so you can get, like, a good look at
That
your
is
bus.
so great. Oh my fucking god. And it's all just undulating with colors.
What are the 6 viewpoints exercises, W? I'm not gonna call you W. That's got a nickname. That's a nickname with some unfortunate associations. I'll call you Radar. Unless you have something else you like to be called. Well,
Wumdar?
you can turn the camera upside down.
Wummer.
Is this a good game for little kids? Like I don't think there's anything like inappropriate in it or anything. It's just like a goofy time. I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I like this like knot right here. What's going on over there? But yeah, let's go to the main menu. We will here, Shredney, I'll let you pick a bus. What bus do you want? Okay, we got the regular transit.
Okay.
We got a school bus. We got the party bus, which you've seen already. We have the truck from Cluster Truck, which is another game developed by the same people.
Oh, Cluster Truck is so
we have a
wonderful,
dragon. And we
Okay,
have a
yeah.
London double-decker.
Let's go with School Bus because it's
You
just
want
so
School Bus?
inherently terrifying and aggressive.
Okay, let's do... I don't think I've done Miami. Let's do Miami. I've never played this map. The upside-down camera is extremely disorienting. Yeah, that's not just you. I felt that too. Have the Cluster Truck people considered suing Tesla for plagiarism? What? Yeah, this is by Stovetop LLC, who also did Cluster Truck. I think Stovetop actually might just be one person. I'm not sure.
There's also, I can't remember who did this or if it was the Cluster Truck people who did a thing called Super Truck, which is Cluster Truck but crossed with Super Pot.
That sounds like they might have done that as like a crossover, like DLC or something.
Well, not actually with like, no, I mean like not as in like with
Is
the
Alex
guns
here?
and the things, but with the mechanic. The weird sort of time slowing down mechanic.
Yeah, Lexi, the truck absorbs the passengers and deposits them at their destination by spitting them out.
Like
Don't
you
knock
do.
it till you tried it.
Like,
Oh.
you know, like any bus actually does. Like,
Hello,
Lexi,
Alex.
I understand that in whatever strange land you live, you may not be familiar with the vagaries of how public transportation works. But trust me, this is how buses work everywhere.
Look, like, this is just a really great stream game because, hey, shout out to that car standing on its nose over there. Like, there's not much to it, but it's fun to play, and I think pretty fun to watch.
It is.
The 6 viewpoints is a theatrical technique based on interacting with the space around you, experimenting with your body shape, and interacting with everyone else. Okay, interesting. Yeah, you did mention a bit ago that you're a theater major. That's cool. I could never do theater, although that after watching Review Starlight, I kind of wanted to, which I think is like almost the polar opposite of the point of that show. But you know. One time I was riding the bus, and some dude backed his car into the front of the bus. Beautiful. Someone pulled the stop cord!
Stop requested.
I will try not to break any world records, Go. You should get me a coffee also, is what I would say if I drank coffee, but I don't. I'm not really one for bean juice.
Bean juice.
Yeah. I think it's fun how, like, everybody who drinks one of the big 3, like, caffeinated drink categories has derogatory nicknames for the other 2 caffeinated drink categories.
What are the 3 major caffeinated drink categories?
Coffee, tea, and soda.
Okay, I mean, I'm sure they're... What do energy drinks fall under?
Energy drinks are, toxins.
Well, I mean, that is factually
Ah.
accurate, but I'm not sure.
Another Miami.
I assume that it would be sort of a subset of sodas.
What if we put the Chicago bean into a coffee grinder? No, don't. It's a local treasure. I straight up love the Chicago Bean.
It is a good bean.
It's such a stupid fucking thing. Like, allegedly, it's a conceptual art piece about, like, you know, you're supposed to be able to, like, look into it and see the sky, or the cloud gate. In practice, it is a giant metal kidney bean. And I feel there's maybe nothing that represents the spirit of America better than just a big, stupid object in the middle of a major city for no real reason.
I mean, it's a beautiful, big, stupid object.
It's pretty, I guess, but, like, it's fucking funny, and nobody else seems to think it's as funny as I do. I don't know, maybe I just have a dumb sense of humor.
I mean, I can appreciate that, but I also kind of just appreciate that, like, it's just cool that it exists.
It's pretty for a kidney bean? I suppose so. I've never had kidney beans, I don't think. The name's kind of off-putting, you know?
They appear in Chile. Like,
okay, yeah, I've eaten chili a couple times, so I have had them then.
Yeah, they're the red
Not,
ones.
like, in adulthood, but I have eaten chili. What's this game called? This is Snaky Bus. Oh, actually, hold up. I should change the game that we're playing. I forgot to. I don't want somebody to come in and be like, oh, Enter the Gungeon looks weird. People always do that and think they're being very funny. Sometimes they're right, but not usually. No hard feelings. After this run concludes, we will run an ad break, and then we will play more Snaky Bus. Because, like, this game's pretty fun. This is probably not going to be a regular feature on Shapes and Forms. I've never seen this level of Monolith. I've got ads? Yeah, I've had ads for a while. They rolled them out for Twitch affiliates, like 2 months ago? Is it because Snaky Bus is too powerful? That's as good an explanation as any. Now, to be clear, I don't actually get any money from running ads, but if I run them, then people are able to pop into the stream without seeing them regardless of when they come in. So, like, I prefer to have, like, scheduled ad breaks as opposed to, like, just making everybody sit through them. It's not a perfect system.
It's not perfect system.
What was that?
That is a reference to a recurring set of sketches from Loading Ready Run, in which there are various bizarre things involving cavemen, but one of the running jokes with that is, it not perfect system.
We're gonna perfect system you into next week.
Because one of them is explicitly a parody of Twitch and how Twitch works.
I guess so, yeah.
It's like, and then...
You think the Snaky Bus might just be a train? Hey, that's slander.
I mean, if so, it's one of the crazier trains I've experienced.
It's still in training.
I'm
glad that you're happy. Worse. I'm glad that you're happy that my Twitch channel is vaguely similar to linear television. I am also not being sarcastic. You know, whatever you come here for, I'm happy to provide. Hey, Shredney.
Uh-huh.
Now that we're linear TV bigwigs, what stupid program should we greenlight and make everybody watch?
Oh, don't give me that power. That would be a terrible, terrible idea. Can we just, like, bring back that whole thing with TV with all the, user-based content where there's just like long blocks of it where there's just random shit on TV.
Well, that's just what YouTube is. Like, I don't know.
Okay,
It was novel at the time. I don't know how well it would work today.
I mean, like,
I would make...
what if YouTube but crossed with off the air?
I mean, I still think... That's just Adult Swim. Like, you know. I would want to reestablish anime's presence in American linear TV.
Okay, fair. That's
Which is
a real answer.
also a complete boondoggle, but for different reasons.
Well, I mean, people have been trying.
Jason DeMarco has been trying.
Jason
what is
DeMarco?
Toonbeam? Jason DeMarco's the guy that runs Toonami.
I was also thinking of actually recently HBO has been.
What is your goal?
Trying to do that.
Mer. Of being a middle-brow Gen Xer. Okay, let's see. I see. We didn't quite end up with as impressive a bus as I wanted. Let's go back to the main menu. Anybody want to see a specific bus when we get back from this ad break in a minute? We got transit bus, school bus, party bus, cluster truck, dragon, and the double decker. Cast your votes in chat while I run this ad break and quickly use the bathroom. Alright, there's the ads. I'll be right back.
I'll be back in a moment. Ugh. I killed linear TV and brought it back to life. You've had enough of the transit bus? We got 2 votes for double decker, so we'll do double decker. Shredney, you still here? Did Shredney go somewhere?
Also, pardon the uncharacteristic for me food ASMR. I'm finishing up my pack of chewy cookies. Let's just do Miami again. I like Miami. It's a good map. What the hell is a linear solver? You can linearly solve these nuts. I know I keep saying it, but I really love the soundtrack to this game. Solves a bunch of linear equations at once. Oh, so it's just like it's a fancy calculator. A multi-calculator. The Super Bowl is in Miami this year? Is that how the Super Bowl works? This is gonna sound like a really stupid question. Does the Super Bowl move? I had no idea. I figured there was just some place where they always had it at. Like neutral ground. You know, thinking about it more, a differing neutral site every year. That's weird. I was gonna be like, thinking about it more, if there was like a Super Bowl stadium, I probably would have known about it. You didn't know either? Well, at least I'm not alone. I was never much of a football person. American rugby, for all the Europeans in the chat. Wake me up if it's in the Vatican State. That's not part of the United States, Coco. I don't know if you know that or not. Wow, that was weak. We can do better than that. Is that a Shredney I hear? I guess not.
You didn't hear that?
Didn't hear what?
Okay, maybe I should... Alright.
What the fuck was that? You have a train whistle?
That's a synthesizer.
That's a train whistle.
It's me playing a major minor 7 flat 9 chord on a sine pad setting.
Shredney, I used to live in Pennsylvania, right near train tracks. That's a motherfucking train whistle. Thought we established this wasn't a train. Seriously, the soundtrack for this is... Shredney, you're killing me here. Shredney! Stop! Can they even hear me? I don't know. They should add Thomas the Tank Engine? That's DLC.
Yes, I can.
You're just choosing to ignore me as I plead with you to stop your nonsense. Why?
See, now we have a soundboard, actually.
Look, if we had... We briefly tried to have a soundboard, but it sounded terrible over, Please stop. Welcome to Shapes and Forms with the Morning Zoo! What was the fucking one from Family Guy, Weenie in the Butt or something?
I don't know.
Which is the sort of thing that's, like, almost funny. Why? Shredney. Hey, thank you a lot for the fucking, monochrome witchy chain to represent my despair.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Hey,
I've come to talk with you
Hey,
again.
everybody, it's time for White Rapper Watch.
Oh no.
Do you know that Eminem released a song recently that sampled that song?
Oh no, that's the one that's that song.
Yeah, the something song where he raps from the perspective of a mass shooter and at the end says you should go vote for gun control laws. I don't understand what goes on in that man's head anymore.
I mean, I'm glad that he's pro gun control.
Yeah, that's about all I took out of it either.
And he also released a new album with that on it.
Did I know that G-Eazy dated Halsey? I didn't know that.
Also,
Please, enough of the sound effects. He was giving the middle finger on the new album's cover, but with his hand in his pocket. I don't know. I have heard from people who've listened to it that the album is actually like pretty good, at least like certainly way better than anything he's done in the past several years.
yeah.
But like I'm
It's all
probably not
relative.
going to listen to it. I might just check out the song with Black Thought on it, but that isn't hard. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Shredney should do music for Alice's Road Geek channel, perhaps.
Yeah, I could do that.
Go, you're preaching to the choir. I think Eminem's been bad since, like, the Marshall Mathers LP, which is, like, a slightly controversial opinion. I think he was basically bad for the majority of the 2000s and, like, all of the 2010s. I said it as a joke, but we kind of do White Rapper Watch occasionally on this show.
I mean, there's also, we shake it up a little. We do talk about, Logic.
Who was biracial, that's true. We should call it Bad Rapper Watch.
I mean, well, he is an honorary bad white rapper.
I don't know if I want to say that about a guy just
Fair.
for various reasons, but
Fair.
I get
fair.
what you mean, I think.
He's
What is the
he's
logo for Bad Rapper Watch? A picture of Necro. I don't know.
Oh no.
That's a joke for nobody.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like Munch Squad, but nobody finds it funny. Alright, let's switch it up. Let's do a different map.
We can call it the Lyrical Miracle Tragicomedy Hour.
The Lyrical Miracle Tragic Comedy Hour.
Because-
Somebody wanted the cluster trap, so we'll do the cluster trap.
And our cover, not our cover, our logo is the outline of Logic making that ridiculous face from that one red carpet photo.
Alice, only you can answer that question.
No, Alice. I think that in, an actual bars competition, you would come up with infinitely more compelling content than Logic has in the past 5 years.
Yeah. Is this like 2005 Suburbia? Yes.
Yes, it is.
This is the easiest of the regular maps, in my opinion.
I too remember the days when we would have a giant soccer ball just there.
We all had one. Every neighborhood had one. It was the law back in the Bush era. Everybody
Yes.
remembers his No Soccer Ball Left Behind program.
Indeed. They were funded by standardized testing.
I actually do know what Roko's Basilisk is, unfortunately.
Yes, I'm very aware of what Roko's Basilisk is. And I've been thinking of, like, actually having a variant on it as, like, a religious cult in something I'm writing, like, as a background detail.
That'd be fun. I could have dated Grimes. It's very presumptuous of you to assume that I would want to date Grimes.
Grimes seems interesting, at least, although...
I guess that's one way to put it.
Although it is... Although, her fondness for Elon Musk is deeply unfortunate.
Remembering that bit from Jailbreak the Tesla where he says his GPS talks in Grimes' voice. You know. I unfortunately do, Lexi, but we're not going to talk about that. Oh no! Okay, come on, one more time. Elon Musk chuckled, "You mean the apartheid emeralds? Oh god."
Oh no. Oh no.
People who like me? I mean, I assume that most people who watch the show like me at least a little bit.
Even if in that way it's because they want you to do ASMR.
We bring that incident up all the time, and it's just because it's maybe the single most confusing thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, I mean, at least they did they step on me.
I don't. That might have actually been less weird.
Okay, actually, that would have been less weird. That would at least. I mean, it would still have been very awkward.
Murr. Can we get my dad on stream so I can tell him I will never love him the way I did as a child? Jesus Christ.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Look, if we're getting dads on stream to tell them things like that, mine and then my stepdad go first. Anyway.
Oof.
I dispute me being cute, but thank you for saying that I am cool and a good friend. The story of the ASMR person, it's honestly not that interesting. It's mostly just like...
Some weird person said that they liked Jane's voice and wanted to hear to ASMR and was really insistent about it in a very creepy way.
Well, specifically, what they wanted was for me to lisp into the microphone.
Yes, I remember that. Oh shit, I forgot about that detail.
And then
Like, oh yeah, that was real
Trey
weird.
tried to play it off by being like, "Oh, well, you know, all of us lisp a little bit," or something like that. And then they insulted him, and that is when we banned them.
Oh yeah, that's when we banned them. Yeah. It's like...
It was very strange.
It was... Yeah, it's like... I forgot how much of an asshole they were. Was
Yeah,
the thing.
like,
It's
if
like-
you're gonna be weird in my chat, at least be nice. Like,
Yeah.
you bet you're the lispiest out of our circle of friends? That might be true, I don't know. I'm pretty lispy, Alice. I mean, you can hear me. I think we're done. Yep. Evidently, this is how long this particular bus can get, Lexi.
It could have even gotten longer, but...
I crashed.
You know.
Let's go back
But,
to the
yeah.
main menu.
Yeah, it just... Jane is not sufficiently Major League gamer for that.
The game is not winnable. I think the What's time race? What's time race?
Let's see.
This is such a cruel game. I don't know about that, Lexi. Okay, I've got a timer that is rapidly counting down. I guess it's just like I have to get to the drop point before the clock runs out. So there's a bit more of an incentive to use the speed booster. Yeah, okay. That's not really much.
We go Zoom.
I don't think I'm gonna do very well in this particular game mode. Yep, okay. there's like a speed up button. You can use the triggers to speed up. What is aerial? Are there any modes are there any maps that can do it with? Okay, just the cave. Alright.
Okay, that's cool.
What's going on here? Water me. What? Okay. Oh, do we have unlimited boost? Like jump? Yeah, we do. Okay. I understand. I think. Do I understand?
Yeah, you have to get to a floating platform
But for what purpose?
to pick up the people.
Ah, okay. This seems much more challenging than the normal game.
And you have to get through the hoops in order to, Yeah, this is a...
So
This is
Mario
intense.
64 hack with a bus. What does that mean?
I mean,
Uh,
it means that it's the perfect game, Jane.
Does
Don't
it?
you want to play the perfect game?
does it mean that, Shreddy? I
Don't you want to play the perfect game, Jane?
Hey, I don't think that this mode is very good. you just like
you
knock
might-
sideways and fall into
Jane,
the water.
you might not like this mode, but this is peak performance.
It's peak something.
It's peak bus.
Peak bus. Endless is really funny because it's not a game. Like, there's no lose condition or anything. Your bus just continues to expand forever.
I'm not gonna say anything. But also, you should do that because that sounds amazing.
I'll do it for a little bit after we finish this run. Expand bus.
Yes, exactly.
Bus expansion.
Natural bus enhancement.
I like this song that's playing right now. You guys like this, I don't even know what this is. Shredney, what the fuck is that?
Whipped cream.
What? Whipped cream?
Yes.
For what?
Well, I do not have any milk to put in my oatmeal. So I had to use water, so I'm supplying
Pardon
the
me?
dairy through whipped cream.
Shredney, this is cursed. What the fuck? Putting whipped cream in your oatmeal. I thought I knew you. It's not cursed. It's absolutely cursed. Oatmeal in
Gogo
general.
thinks I'm genius. Lexi
Oatmeal
thinks I'm
in
brilliant.
general is like borderline cursed.
Whipped cream is not cursed.
Whipped cream in oatmeal is cursed. Good night.
Jane, I'm so sorry that you have a tiny, underdeveloped primate brain.
Fuck off. You're not gonna
But
bring me around to this.
True
You're not gonna bring
galaxy
me
brain
around.
intellectuals.
You're not gonna bring me around to this whipped cream cult you're trying to start.
It's not a cult, Jane. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, that's what Scientology says too.
Well, Scientology is an inferior lifestyle to this.
You gonna try to sell me a 5,000 year sign up for the whipped cream core?
Well,
One of us, Google Gobble.
all I have to say is there's no accounting for taste.
On this, we can agree. The eating noises are arguably the worst part. Oh no! Oh no! Fuck.
It's just a dragon spouting people.
This one wasn't even that impressive, I don't think.
Oh.
Let's go back to the main menu. I'll do endless mode for a bit, just because, like, endless mode is sort of stupid.
Do it with the party bus.
I'm gonna do it with the party bus, don't worry. Endless mode only works on one map, which is also called Endless. And, you didn't play the toy map yet? That map sucks. I don't like that map. Endless has, basically nothing. I will show you what Endless is. So it's this map, and your bus just, expands linearly forever. As one does.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, there's a sinister orb hanging in the sky. I think that what this map is it's purgatory. It's purgatory for buses.
And the
Because-
orb is God?
I guess so. Because there's no
The
one
Eye
to
of
pick
God.
up. There's no one to pick up. There's no one to drop off. Nowhere to drop anybody off. You're only... The only way to leave is to choose to end the game.
And you can also jump over that ravine, I assume.
Probably. We need to build up some length first, though.
Alrighty. Sounds like a plan.
It is also very possible to accidentally end up under the map, so we're gonna try to not do that.
That's great.
No, it's not, actually.
Oh.
Because then you can't do anything. There's no way to get back up top.
But I mean, it's access to the glorious, sweet, crunching waters of the sub-ocean.
I wonder what the statutory speed limit for this category of highway is. Hello?
Hi.
Trey!
Hello, Trey.
Hello.
There is one way out, though. I mean,
The
to
quit,
answer Lexi's question, you can go under.
the quit button, yeah.
Well, no, I was going to say that you jump off something and go into the void.
This pops up in
115 bus length.
Yeah. You familiar with Snaky Bus, Trey?
I'm not.
It's Snake, but you're a bus. Except in this mode, which is just endless linear bus expansion until the end of time.
We vibin'.
Mm-hmm.
Eternal bus.
Eternal Bus.
Bus Eternal.
I want to kind of see how long we can drive along this road before we start to encounter our own our own trail.
Our own bodies.
Yeah.
Well, we did see ourselves.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, until it's, like, in front of us.
Mm.
It might take a while.
A snake Ouroboros, as it were.
Yes.
The
Or a
snake
bus
eats
Ouroboros.
Or a bussus.
Yeah.
Us.
All I know about channel points is that you can use them to modify my emotes in horrifying and untowered ways.
I did like the "Hello, darkness, my old friend."
Look, the monochrome with
version.
Jane was very good. Yes.
Yes,
Also to
and also
highlight
to highlight messages.
What's Holaska?
Shrug.
Genuine question. I'm not sure what that is.
I have no idea.
The region from Sonic Unleashed. It is the cold place. I see.
The bus has entered the good faith era, as evidenced by the neon color scheme.
Yeah. Wait, I don't get it.
Good Faith is an album by Madeon that the aesthetic that he's adopted for the album is very much changing rapidly color changing, just sort of has that vibe where it's going across the rainbow throughout like the videos and stuff that he's put out for it and everything. So it looks kind of like the way that the bus does.
Yeah, this is the Parde bus.
Yeah.
It kind of looks a little like the
Stop.
reissue cover of Merzbow's Pulse Demon, where it has that weird kind of holographic reflective quality, and then those weird op art lines on it, which in the original was just black and white, and had these ripples on it that looked like they moved when you moved your eye across them.
Well, now we're back at the start of the circuit, so.
But then
hopefully
it's you know, like the new cover is that, but it's like instead of white, it's foil
So Lexi, yeah.
that has that sort of multicolored thing. So it's like a double weird op art thing.
I believe the
very
Hohokam
disconcerting.
were a Native American people. It's a site in Arizona. Okay. Apparently I was slightly incorrect. Yeah. Oh, hey, Trey, was it you who recommended me, Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beasts?
Yes.
I watched
Good
the first
show.
2 episodes of that yesterday. It was good.
What?
It's a solid show.
What is it?
It's, a...
Netflix, DreamWorks collab original series.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, it's,
Based on a webcomic, basically
Really?
about a girl that is, it lives in a post-apocalyptic America, and she lives underground with basically a colony of folks that went under to try to keep themselves away from the dangers that developed above the surface. But
Okay.
she gets stranded on top, and basically has to find her dad, who has gone missing, and they are trying to essentially find her way back home, her and her friends.
yeah. It's up, like I said, I'm only 2 episodes in, but it's very interesting so far. I did not know if I would vibe with it, because it was kind of described to me by a couple people as being kind of like 50-50 comedy and action, but I think it actually blends those two halves very well.
Yeah.
Probably better than anything I've seen since Adventure Time.
And there's speaking of Adventure Time, it does have the the same sort of quality to it, where there's weird creatures all over the place,
Yeah.
and
The Mega
like,
Bunny.
yeah, the Mega Bunny, for instance, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is a bunny that is
Mega.
roughly Godzilla sized, and yeah, it does have that same sort of energy to it that I think that is really cool and worthwhile for a new sort of thing. I think that it'll be a fun one to keep an eye on. As
That one's got legs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched. For one thing, the episodes are full half hours, which I'm not used to anymore. But like, at least not with Western cartoons. But
right.
I watched the first 2 episodes and I was like, yeah, this is gonna be like, there's kids right now who are gonna watch this and it's gonna be like their big thing. Or you know.
Also, the music's really good.
The soundtrack is fucking incredible. Like, actually incredible.
It does something that a lot of animated shows don't really do, which is actually getting music that already exists. Like, I'm pretty
it's all
sure.
licensed,
Or-
I'm pretty sure, except for
or,
some
like,
incidental stuff.
Yeah, some of it is original too. Like, it's a mix of both. But generally speaking, I really have enjoyed when it uses stuff that is already pre-existing, because it has like a very distinctive vibe to it, where it's a little bit of electronica, a little bit of hip hop, kind of blending the two together into a nice pot of tunes.
I'm not gonna
that fit
jump
the
over
show's
the
vibe.
gap, Lexi. I've got a goal in mind. I'll jump over the gap later. But yeah, it's like, I was surprised because I wasn't expecting much. Like, I didn't really know what to expect, honestly.
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting to be as blown away by it as I was. Like, it's a very good series. If you like Western cartoons even a little bit, you should check out Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts.
I will look into it.
Yeah, it's real good. The only kind of downside, and this is more of a personal preference, is that because it's a Netflix series, it does that thing where they just drop the whole season at once, like a bag of potatoes.
Yeah.
So, there is that. But, it's really good. Like, the only concern I have is that because it's a Netflix original, I think it might kind of go under the radar if people aren't loud enough about it. Which is why I'm trying to be to everybody like, hey, you should watch this show. It's really good.
I concur.
Yeah. Also, Kipo herself is a powerful dumbass, which is one of my favorite genres of protagonist. There's also, of possible interest to Alice, there is a piggy, because I know the pig from Gravity Falls was a big selling point in that show. Waddles, I think his name was. Yeah.
Waddles is a
Yeah.
good pig.
There's a
Yes,
piggy,
a good
yeah.
pick.
But yeah.
No, you don't understand.
Oink. No, you don't understand.
That will do, pig.
Well, if you like pigs, you should watch Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beasts. Also, I haven't gotten to him actually showing up yet, but I know from watching the trailer that the main bad guy is an evil mandrill named Scarlemagne, which is just great.
Yep.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Also, there are wolves that not only rap about science, but they are wolves that rap about science that are voiced by John Hodgman and the Jizza.
Yeah, that
What?
was. There is the Jizza of the Wu-Tang Clan voices a rapping wolf.
And there is also a throwaway gag that is a blink and you'll miss it thing.
So
in the
they're
same-
like kind of like the Is that a nod, at least partly, to the Y-Wolves from Adventure Time?
I think it might be.
We are creatures of bloodlust and inquiry.
Yeah, it definitely has a similar vibe. There's also a throwaway gag in the same episode. The two main wolves are both named Billions, and they're said to essentially be the leaders, like the alphas in the pack that are all also named Billions. So they're like in a long line of them, and there is a photo of one of the earlier Billions that is captioned "Old Dirty Billions."
Oh no!
That's really good.
Oh no, that's fantastic.
They knew exactly what they were doing.
They did.
I should actually put my younger brother onto that show. He might like it.
And yes, I do agree, Alice. I feel like I also am forever tainted with the perception of John Hodgman as the PC from the Mac and PC ads.
Yeah.
Even though he's a funny comedian that has also done other things.
Yeah, and like has done a fair amount of
Billions with a B.
like humor writing as well, which is generally pretty amusing. Like this very strange, dry comedy.
So Lexi in the chat mentioned that she oh
I went a little bit too fast.
Lexi mentioned in the chat that she felt like she was a bit out of place for preferring My Little Pony in the 2010s, while most folks vibed with Adventure Time, but she couldn't. I feel like I might actually have the reverse situation going on, where I was on the Adventure Time train from day one, but as far as ponies went, I was an observer, a casual observer at best.
Yeah, same. I
Yeah.
never was into. I was never really on that.
The party bus is partying. Don't worry about it.
Good.
I think
but
it's
yeah.
just kind of like a what sort of person are you thing.
Yeah.
Not to be like, the two genders, but you know.
The two genders, ponies and dogs.
Boys with swords, you know.
Pony. Well, okay. Let's just say there are the three genders: ponies, sword boys, and rocks. Because Steven Universe did arrive eventually.
Yeah, well, that came a little bit later. I don't know. I think of the two, Adventure Time probably has had more directly obvious influence, but like people still largely like the My Little Pony series. I think when they tend to talk poorly about it, I think it's more of the perception of how the fan community.
Yeah, the fan community went from being kind of like, you know, from what I can tell, it's almost like it went from having a neutral reputation to a bad reputation to, like, at this point, like, I don't think anybody cares anymore.
Yeah.
Like, because, like, the really insufferable, unpleasant people, like, at this point, you know, because, like, the fandom in a way has gotten, like, tighter knit and a little bit smaller, that it actually, they're able to, you're able to avoid those people more easily.
There it is.
Yep, we have reached the maximum bus.
Epilepsy warning, possibly.
Possibly.
Oh, there's
no,
the
we
train.
saw the end of it. Holy shit! We need to make sure that we go full Ouroboros on this thing. Like,
Did I
just
break the game?
Yo.
The bus is never over.
The trail of buses
Hey, so a fun thing is, if you like, kind of not the trail around, it starts wigging out. So why don't we try doing that real quick?
Let's
before
let's
we
ride.
switch over
No,
to GeoGuessr.
no, you can hit the planet. Hit
No,
the
you
planet.
actually can't. You just like bounce off of it.
Oh yes, we've reached the sub-ocean. Yes.
Well, no, this isn't the sub-ocean. This is just the regular ocean. The sub-ocean is over here.
And
Don't
we're
worry.
on
Oh
top.
yes.
Don't
Oh
worry.
yes.
We have the power.
We're going.
Okay. Oh no, I do see it. I see it.
Into the infinite unknown.
Yeah.
Go-Go. Go-Go mentioned the Pony.mov series, and I regret my days of having enjoyed those. I wish I didn't.
Are the buses like humping the air or something?
Or
one way
is
to
the
think
air
about it.
humping the buses? We're reaching beyond
We're headed for the edge of the world.
for the
Chasing
edge
perfection.
for the edge of time, for the edge of space. For the
Eternal.
How
beginning,
physics really works. Yes.
the beginning of the end of the beginning.
Actually,
Of
I'm
the
starting
end?
to wonder if you just like
The
can't
beginning
get
is the
there.
end is the beginning. Is it right where you are?
Hold on. Wait, no, I
Unless-
see it. We just wait, nope. This way.
This word. Come with me if you want to die.
Come with me and you'll see a world of pure party busing. Here we go.
Okay,
Let's
sub-ocean time.
go!
Okay, it's a bittersweet
Symphony this life.
Dun, 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 dun. Copyright strike! Ah!
This was Snaky Bus.
This was Snaky Bus indeed.
Can you
This- Some say
unclick
the snaky
camera?
bus will go on forever.
I would love to be able to zoom out
Etern-
and like look around at this, but I don't think I can, unfortunately.
Well, let's try.
I would
Eternally,
like
eternally, deeper and deeper into the abyss.
Oh,
nah.
Deeper and deeper.
let's wait until it gets to 12:34,
Okay.
because
Actually,
that
I-
just would make me giggle.
What's funny about 12:34? Actually, has it stopped? No, there it goes.
Right now, yay! Oh, and it's keeping going.
It's just the like an infinite, the infinite
Recur-
bus generator.
Yeah,
Deeper
infinite
and
recursive
deeper.
bus generator.
You're
Deeper
fine,
and
Lucy, don't
deeper.
worry about it.
Some say if you go subatomic deep enough, you'll see the fractals that compose the universe.
So that was Snaky Bus.
We've all seen the face of God now, and we can finally die.
We're gonna run some ads while this continues to do whatever it's doing, and then when we get back,
Yes.
we will play GeoGuessr.
If you're subbed, you get to see the extended cut.
of bus nonsense. I like how it's casting buses at the screen, and occasionally one it's the camera.
I mean, that is the logical conclusion.
You are Go-Go, but sometimes it just doesn't serve ads, so other people might see this. Anyway.
Sometimes you're just not,
Oh
you're just
no!
not serving advertisement realness.
Anyway, I will be right back.
I am going to eat more oatmeal because only Go-Go is going to hear it, and she already expected this was going to happen.
Oh, has it caught up? Somewhat. For a brief second, the pilot bus came forward to the screen, but then it fell further back away. Moat meal. $1,400.
Okay, oatmeal consumed.
Consume oat. Fresh oat. Okay, now we've gotten to the point where the bus is just barely visible. Ah, there's the trail. It fades into and out of the abyss.
This is indeed the final plumbed depths of the sub-ocean.
Alice says that she's going to start her own oatmeal eating stream and call it Holland Oats. And
Oh, no.
I feel like I shouldn't find that as funny as I do, and yet. Hall and Oats.
Well, it should be more like Hall.
I like how the bus is totally gone, but then occasionally you'll just see flashes of it.
Catch a
I can
quick
still
glimpse of the trail.
I can still control it even, which is I don't know what to make of that. Anyway, again, all right, whatever.
1,496 is a good round number.
Yeah, you know, I probably should have waited till 1,500, but oh well. Yeah. That was Snaky Bus. Let's play GeoGuessr.
Woo!
Guess in the geos.
Not to be confused with GeoGuessr, which is a game where you try to figure out what kind of rocks there are.
Of quartz that is present within the rock.
Of course, of course.
A horts
Not
is
to
a
be-
horts of quartz of quartz.
Not to be confused with geocaching. Yeah, don't make that mistake. Geodes are really cool. I used to own one as a kid. My grandma got it for me as a birthday present one year, and I legitimately thought that it was like the coolest thing of all time.
They are cool.
There.
Chain chomp geode.
Wait, no, even better. Horst is a horse of quartz, of course. Horse the quartz horse.
As always, GeoGuessr music provided by Plaza.1, aka Nightwave Plaza. Let's see. Can I just turn? Will this actually just work for once?
Janik, do you move away from the mic to breathe in?
Some stay dry while others feel the pain.
Alright, well, that's not quite working correctly. So I will make a new capture thing. I don't know why that's so finicky, but whatever. Why is Twitch called Twitch anyway? Your guess is as good as mine.
I guess for certain videos you need Twitch reflexes in order to play them correctly.
That's like the only thing I could think of. Why is this not, what?
Twitch's origins lie in Justin.tv, which was just named after its creator.
When Toonami
Excuse me.
had just come back.
It doesn't work on browser source, remember?
Well, it's not working on Windows either right now for some reason.
But yeah, like it's not gonna work on browser source, remember?
Yeah.
That's been our whole issue for ages.
Try doing a game capture? I don't know.
Let's try window capture again, see what the heck happens.
Wants me to stream Groove Music. That's not, no.
Does Groove Music even exist anymore?
Yeah, CC has it installed on our computer, and it is what we use to play the intro.
The more you know.
What is Groove Music?
It is
Google
Microsoft's
Chrome.
now defunct streaming service.
Yeah, it just exists as like an app still, but I don't know what.
I think they mostly just keep it around because it's slightly more modern than Windows Media Player was.
Oh dear.
This
Gosh,
is
Windows Media Player.
this is an issue. It's really not wanting to do this for some reason.
You mention that name to somebody that uses FooBar and they'll look at you like you just invoked the devil.
What
I
is
mean-
happening?
Did anyone ever like Windows Media Player?
Back when it was the one that had like the skins and shit, that was kind of cool. But like, I don't know if
That's
anybody
not
actually
fascinating.
seriously used the thing. iTunes also had a period where people used it but didn't like it, and then by the time the streaming services rolled around, it stayed around as like a husk of its former self, basically just holding on to existence by way of Apple Music.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let me try opening a new window if that makes a difference for some reason. If we can't get this to work, then
Oh yeah, it does. See, GeoGuessr is right there.
it just didn't want to stream that particular window
That was very bizarre.
for some reason. All right, let me reopen Nightwave Plaza.
That was deeply bizarre.
Yeah, Plays. That's not what it's called. Alright. Let's
You
get
know-
into things here. Sorry about that, folks.
I continued thinking
Diverse.
about how Justin.tv, the old live streaming service, essentially became Twitch, and what ended up happening was really weird because Justin was built as a general streaming service just for anybody to put up any kind of stream regardless of
What
the
is this?
content.
We're in Hungary.
Good. That's
And-
likely.
And then the video gaming section of Justin turned out to be the most popular section
Wow.
of the site.
Mhm.
So what ended up happening was that
What else?
Twitch,
Did they do again?
It was just
Sorry.
a general streaming service. Like, you could stream anything you wanted there.
yeah,
Oh.
like people used it to basically just talk to other people in the chat and whatnot back in like 2010, 2011-ish. And Twitch was the spin-off of it that was born out of the
There was
site's
a-
video game section.
Okay. Yeah. There's a street sign right there, Jane. Yeah. There's a Shavana. Okay, we're in Italy.
And ultimately, what ended up happening was that Twitch became its own site, and then Justin shut down, and the developers moved full-time to developing Twitch. And then the IRL section of this website that we are streaming on today came up, essentially, I guess, as like I guess you could call it the modern form of what Justin originally was, because a lot of people use it for similar purposes to what that service was originally founded as. So it's kind of like a student surpasses the teacher, kills the teacher, and then starts doing the things that the teacher did before.
The one thing you can't get away with on Twitch, unless you're Crunchyroll, you can't get away with like screen sharing it like shows.
Yeah, and then they had that weird like they've had a couple of weird events, like the whole Bob Ross thing, and then them also
and there's
doing the Pokemon show, I think.
Well, the Yu-Gi-Oh one, I was actually there for some of that. That was fucking great.
Yeah.
stuff that's actually in the public domain, or like public broadcasting stuff. I think that they allow, because they do know that there's
they do
one
stuff,
streamer who
they do
just
stuff
like
if you own it, you can stream it. But...
And by the way, yes, Winamp does whip the llama's ass.
What?
So Winamp was one of the popular media.
I know what
players
Winamp
from
is. But
their
white llamas.
their slogan was "It whips the llama's ass."
Why was that their slogan?
Why not?
Fair enough, I guess. Alpaca Patrol streams public domain movies every Saturday. I forgot that he did that. Are they good movies? Toy Toy. That's a really funny brand name for a toilet.
It is. Especially for porta potties?
Yeah.
Toy toy. Oh, because toilet.
Yeah.
Toy toy.
Yeah, check out this judgy owl.
Kocha gufo.
I also remember when
Fair enough, Go-Go.
I also remember when Google and Twitch were thinking about getting married.
Oh yeah, the whole Twitch.
Oh no.
merger talks, and then
Oh no.
then Amazon bought it instead,
Which isn't much
isn't
better.
really
but,
any better. Yeah, but
I mean,
It did give Amazon this weird sort of like built-in established user base that they then proceeded to use Twitch as their gaming brand now. So the benefits that you get from Prime for video games, for instance, are branded as Twitch Prime rather than Amazon.
yeah. I still think it's really funny. Like, Amazon's got all this streaming video stuff, and they never air any of that on Twitch, even though they easily could.
There was like an experimental thing that they were testing last year that had like the ability for people with Amazon Prime accounts, of course, to be able to do the rabbit thing and watch the Prime originals with each other with the Twitch client. Which...
I'm gonna guess, like, that this is one of the, like, there are a bunch of lakes in northern Italy that there are very small towns around.
Yeah, we're probably there.
Go back for a sec so I can look at some of the signs a little bit.
I'm going.
Okay.
Bagno.
Bagno. I can't really get a good look at what it says immediately. Bagno.
What was Nick doing?
No.
Go. I think we're probably like up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We were
Wow,
actually
yeah.
we were right
I mean,
across
we
the
were
border.
actually in.
in
We were
Switzerland,
just
but
on the other side of the Swiss border.
Still.
Okay. That makes sense. I was gonna say, like, it's either that or maybe Switzerland.
Screaming
like
of
southern
Fire.
Switzerland.
This is an interesting song that's playing right now. You guys hearing this?
I mean, I'm not on there, but I
El Gran Final by Gala Futura.
I'll check it out. I'll see.
But do you like the sax? Was that what that was? It sounded like fucking bagpipes or something to me. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I miss Rabbit.
It's playing something else for me.
It is now
Rabbit-
because the
Rabbit
song
was
is
one
good.
of those services that you feel like in retrospect it's one of those things that proved too good to last.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they had an excellent idea that had like the potential to be really really cool if developed correctly, but the problem was that it monetizing it was hard, and the current landscape
Oh,
of
God.
developing applications for the internet
Sure.
and smartphones and stuff requires
Show 'em
you
the
to be
heave.
able to requires you to be able to actually commodify the damn things.
Generally, where is
I-
that?
I saw the sign, Chudney.
I know. I'm just wondering. No,
Probably
I was-
somewhere in the Russosphere.
Yeah.
We might also be in Ukraine. Is the other option, or like Bulgaria or something. But SciTube, yeah. Okay.
It has
Crudy?
actual.
Kruty Heroes Memorial. Hetman's Capital Historical Preservation. We are in Ukraine.
Okay. Wait. Yeah. It has eyes. Like in Memorial.
Well, that's not why.
That's
That's
Ukraine.
not
No,
why
that makes it Ukrainian.
That's not why I
Russian.
thought that, but fair enough. I also
Like, it has-
Chernihiv is like a specific place in Ukraine. It's like down here somewhere, I think. I'll put us in Odessa. Okay, we were
Oh,
up
we're in
north,
the.
but
Oh, it
still.
actually is a pretty big city, so we would have.
We were in Kipti.
Oh well.
But yeah,
Generally, Kyiv.
there is Frogwatch, which is being developed. Frogwatch/rib.it. Accept your friend request on what? Like, there is that being developed, but it's been down the last few times I checked it, so I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, my big, I guess yeah, fuck it. My white whale of services that I loved but were too good to last was Turntable. That one had the ability. It was, I don't know if you guys have heard of plug.dj. but
Yeah. No, I
it-
have some friends of mine and I have a running thing where we have a room on plug.dj and we play stuff.
Plug is essentially a second go at trying to
Yes,
do the thing that
I
Turntable
know.
did. Yeah.
Because the same people who did the plug.dj room had a turntable room before that I was in a few times.
Nice.
Like way back. Jesus Christ.
I
Like there
will
was some.
look into how to accept that friend request, Gogo. I don't know where, like, I don't see anything. But when we're done with this round, I will check the homepage and see. You guys like my GeoGuessr avatar?
It is.
She's good.
Who is she again?
That's Yukari from Yu Yushiki.
I thought it was a character from Yushiki.
How do you guys feel about gorillas?
If
What?
you hear me before you see me, I got King Kong in the trunk.
Whatever happened to Jukes?
Jack shit.
Fair?
So,
So?
yeah.
Yeah.
But, trying to think.
That is neat, Trey.
Yeah, we enjoyed our escapades on there, and I think that we tried to do it with Plug a couple of times, but it wasn't the same because I don't know, once you have a community like that initially, it sort of builds around the product, and having to move over to something else with a different like look and feel and everything just kind of killed the vibe, you know.
Yeah.
I
That
really
makes sense.
do credit the folks that do the sync tube sessions over at TVT, like the coven that watches movies, because they've been able to stick around with it for the longest time. I am dumbfounded by it. I love those
Oh,
guys.
Hey.
yeah. Yeah. Me and some friends used to do like an anime watch thing on SyncTube
Not
or
to.
SciTube,
Sorry to interject.
depending.
What the fuck does this sign mean?
Uh,
Tree,
that looks
that
like
way.
It looks like a baobab tree.
What the
Trees
hell's a
to the
baobab
left.
tree?
Baobabs are found in Africa, and they are very large.
You know what?
The
We're
big-
probably in South Africa.
The big savanna
What does it
trees.
say?
Craddock and
Queenstown.
Queenstown. Yeah.
Yeah, we're fairly. Yeah, we're in South Africa, I think.
Craddock
Wait,
is
no.
like a big city, isn't it?
Wait, Queenstown is that? Yeah, like I guess that is.
Or no, isn't Queenstown New Zealand?
My
You're
like.
not New Zealand. Look at all this landscape.
I mean,
There's no
granted,
way.
like New Zealand is not small, but it's like the
No,
landscape
but-
is different.
Let's keep going.
But yeah, this is distinctly African
Yeah.
looking. So, how long do you think? You ever just thought about like using Google Maps to do like almost like doing like a pseudo road trip?
We did that a couple days ago on the server, actually, for a little bit.
Neat.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I've done that before. It's interesting.
I
Like,
believe
just-
Alice also has. I don't know if we're gonna get anything else. I'm gonna take the South Africa guess, and if it's New Zealand, I'm gonna feel real silly. Okay, we were in
Oh,
South
yeah.
Africa. There's Craddock. Archaeology Lab used Google Earth to do a virtual tour of the East African Rift Valley. That's cool.
Neat.
Whoa. This is very scenic.
Scenic.
What,
I'm gonna guess Alps.
what'd you say, Trey?
Scenic.
Scenic.
La Licon.
Lickern. Yeah,
Licon.
virtual road trips in Google Maps. Alice. Aisu.
Addis.
Ellis.
Remember when Serial Experiments Lane fans used to get really mad if people romanized that one character's name as Alice instead of Arisu?
Despite the fact that that was intentional, because
Yeah.
Chiaki Kanaka.
You know.
Team Shanghai Alice.
That's the Zun.
Yep.
That is soon. Yes.
Despite having no connection with Toho aside from being around people that love it, I was reading the character pages on TVT for the first couple of Windows entries in the franchise, and I'm like, for a good maybe a quarter or maybe a fifth of them, I'm like, oh yeah, that one, and then the other 4/5 or whatever, I'm like, I don't recognize this one, but I've seen them before. Just
Yeah.
These are all totally illegible.
just because everybody has at least one that they gravitate toward in that fandom, and
Vibe with, yeah. What were some of the ones that you had not heard of?
there was one that was a rat, like a rat girl, and one that had like a dress partially made out of octopus tentacles.
I don't think I know who the second one is.
I'm
I'm sure I'd know her if I saw her. The first one's Nazrin. Who, there was a meme around her back when that game first came out.
That checks out. And then
I don't remember if Nazrin is technically a rat or a mouse.
And then one that I knew that I had seen before, but couldn't put anything in my head about, like, actually having context for where I saw her, was the one that was an umbrella yokai.
Oh, Kogasa.
Checks out.
Kogasa's very good and reasonably popular. Yeah, her thing is that she's an umbrella and she likes to surprise people.
Surprise umbrella.
Yeah. Bit.
But yeah, do you ever wander into something that you're very much out of your depth as far as like understanding the gravity of it for like other people, but you casually sort of observe it as an external presence, I guess.
Yeah, all the time. Like Gundam is that for me.
Have you noticed how many Fate fans I know? Like, yes, I do.
I have like 1 foot in the Fate fandom, but not both feet. I've seen Unlimited Blade Works, which is like the canonical Fate series. And I've played some Fate Grand Order.
Like,
it's a weird franchise.
Yeah.
This is a little bit loud, I think. The heck? There we go. Watch Fate Zero? I mean, I thought UBW was, like, actually just good. People are always, like, telling me that I should watch Fate Zero, and I might sometime, but I'm not really in a rush.
I mean, it was also, Fate Zero was adapted by the guy who wrote the thing it's based on.
Yeah.
So, and it's the guy who wrote Nautica, and it's, yeah.
It's a very sad show. I know that much. But Fate, there's like a core.
Cool.
Okay. There's like 1 or 2 Fate shows per year, like weird little spin-off things, and I just never care.
I'm gonna guess this is on the French-Swiss border.
That sounds plausible to me.
Probably France, like maybe a little north of there. Like, it's I think we're French Alps, definitely.
We like going to the top of some kind of trail over here. Also, hey,
probably.
if you had the chance to change your fate,
Would you?
what is that from?
Brave. Well, technically, it's not actually from from the trailer.
Hmm.
But Mom, it's just my boo. Also, this song that is playing is heavily interpolating Axel F, so that's fun.
Huh.
So if this,
Wait.
this episode gets copyright struck, y'all know why.
Wait, what is...
The crazy frog is going to burst down our door and kill you on sight.
Oh no.
What
Will
is
I have to
Axel
save
F?
you by using my powers of seduction?
I mean, he does have his dick out.
That's actually true, distressingly enough.
Distressingly enough, yeah. Very
Use the
distressing.
copyright deadlock.
Oh no.
Yeah, we're just going in a big circle. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with Stradney's theory that we're like right around here. There you go. We were actually in Switzerland proper, but still.
Okay. We were in
Um,
Switzerland twice in this episode.
We were. How weird.
We never get Switzerland.
We don't really get Switzerland very often. Let's go back to the main page. How do I accept somebody's friend request in this thing? My Explorer friends. Add using the search bar? My activities? There we go. Now I have Explorer friend, Gogo.
You have an explorer friend.
Yeah. What do we, God, I'm such a sucker for these. Let's do middle of nowhere. Just once. There are no photospheres. Okay. Oh, they didn't mean like in a fun way. It's just all like rural roads in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Oh, it's in Korea.
It is in Korea.
That's one thing.
We're in Korea. Done.
Holy shit, we accidentally got really, really close.
Easy. Oh,
Easy game,
fucking-
easy life.
Oh fucking god. Okay, we're just gonna speed through these, because these, like, aren't fun. What's up, Gogo? We're in Australia. They added pro gifting? That's cool.
No, we're in Nevada. Been through the desert on a horse with
Alright,
a name.
folks, give me your guesses off the top of your head.
Sweden!
Finland.
Try
Oh
again.
no, we're in fucking Canada.
Alright, what's this one?
They also have a lot of metal bands, so it works. Brazil.
Try again.
Where were we?
Australia?
What the fuck?
This looks like
Okay.
Canada to me.
This is very Canada.
Nope.
Alaska. But we
All
were
right,
in. Oh no,
That one sucks.
that was not good.
Let's do Urban World. Urban World always puts you in a city.
Okay, let's look at that sign.
Stretching the definition of city a little bit, but I'm not gonna complain. España. Spain?
Salinas Puga.
Spain.
Puka.
Alaska is Canada's cousin.
Fair.
Canada.
Nodding wisely. Wherever we are, they speak Spanish here.
Yes.
Cyber connection.
connection. Reparación y venta de computadoras.
Alice, do you really like saying that Michigan is the Canada of the United States?
No, I think Minnesota is the Canada of the United States.
Well, North Carolina is the Ohio of the Southeast.
That's a statement.
What does that mean?
It means
Hey?
it means that North Carolina is the Ohio of the Southeast.
Hey, gang.
Zocteadas?
You guys digging this monster truck that's dead?
Monster
to-
truck done went to heaven.
Went to heaven.
I have to use the restroom real quick so you guys can look at the sign while I do that and come back.
Proximamente.
I'm wondering the meaning of the blank sign that's on the sign.
Yeah, that's got me doing a rumination.
It's curious. The answer is that it crossed Gravedigger the wrong way.
En la molienda. I
Yeah.
do not know enough Spanish for any of this to make sense other than that there's something 22 kilometers away.
Janik says that the monster truck died in a shootout with the cops after a bank heist gone wrong. So it was one of the members of the crew that Baby drove for in Baby Driver, and shit went sideways.
Oh no.
Ding ding. I
I think the monster truck died in a shootout with the cops after a bank heist gone wrong. I'm glad I cultivate
Bum,
a,
bum, 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 bum.
I'm glad I cultivate a good community on this channel.
Ding ding.
What's a Zocteada? Your guess is as good as mine.
Wait, Trey, that that's from Monty Python.
I don't know if they were intentionally referencing anything in the Crazy Frog sample that Axel F uses.
Clutches and friends.
No,
Hell
but
yeah.
but I didn't. Well, I didn't know that was the thing that Axel F used. But like, ding 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 ding.
The red
ding.
pickup?
That's from a Monty Python.
My grandfather had a truck almost exactly like this, except it was
Yeah, that
much
is a
rustier.
That's a very generic truck.
He
It's very much that
he
kind of
he
truck.
loved that truck though. It was like,
I mean, I'm not
his-
saying
his
it's a
thing.
bad truck. I'm saying
yeah.
it's like a model that is like the platonic ideal. We're in Venezuela.
How you
Says
figure?
Venez- Says it right there.
That's a street sign though. It might just be like Venezuela Avenue.
I mean, it may be, but at the same time, like,
I
it's
will
as good a
go.
guess
We'll
as
go.
any.
We'll go with Venezuela. I have an
What-
inkling we might be in Mexico
Caracas?
though. Caracas, sure.
It's the Avenue of the Americas.
Okay, we were in Mexico. Actually, we might not. We were in Laredo. We were in
Redney?
Nuevo Laredo.
Shredney,
The newest Laredo.
what did I tell you? Camaro.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm terrible.
It's okay.
I wasn't thinking that it was actually Caracas, but it was just like, never mind. I'm so sorry.
Shredney, it's fine. Transport. Shredney,
Trans.
Yes, I see.
do I have to throw you into the ball pit?
Why are you gonna throw me into the ball pit, Shane?
You know why.
Why the ball pit?
The ferret knows what they did.
Sentenced to the ball pit for ferret crimes. Oh, hey, we're in Brazil.
See, you looked at a thing and went, "We're in this country."
Okay, but like Brazilian pharmacy is a bit different than a street being called Venezuela.
Okay, fair.
Because you go to like, there's cities in North America with like, oh, France Avenue, because like it's like the corner of the French Quarter or something.
Also, everything is in Portuguese.
Yeah, there's also that.
Yeah, true.
Brazil.
I
hate Brazil because we were in Brazil, but we only got like less than half of full points because we were just like we were only a state away even.
We were in the Amazon.
We were in Amazonas. We were in Porto Valdo.
Well, okay, we're actually right over the border of Amazonas and Bonia.
Still,
But
like
still,
you
we're
know.
literally in the Amazon.
Brazil is a big girl. That's one way to put it.
She big.
Watch out for the big girl.
Oh no! Now I have Frankie Valli's "Big Girls Don't Cry" playing in my head, and that song is terrible.
Why
Trendy.
not Fergie's "Big Girls Don't Cry"?
I'm
You know
not
what
sure I
nobody
know that.
remembers about that song is that it had a fucking remix.
It had a remix?
You want to know who was on the remix?
Who was on the remix to Fergie's "Big Girls Don't Cry"?
Sean Kingston.
Sean Kingston did a remix
Yeah.
of "Big Girls Don't Cry."
Yeah, it was official too. It wasn't like a mixtape thing.
Good Christ.
It was like the B side on the iTunes single.
I
Pompeii.
struggle to think of what that would sound
Wait.
like.
You think
what
you
does that-
remember that?
Sign right there, say.
I've given Janik war flashbacks. Ramps ahead is what it
Ramp
says.
ahead.
Pompeii.
Ramps ahead. And it says, "Oh, we are in Ireland?"
Ireland?
Yep,
Yeah,
looks
we're in
pretty
Ireland. That's Irish.
Irish.
Alright.
Either that or Scots Gaelic, but that's extremely unlikely.
See? Told you.
Yeah, we're in
Limerick.
Limerick! You know, I know an interesting fact about a man from there.
What does that mean?
What the fuck is this thing?
A very large, strangely shaped building.
What is
It's a
this?
toilet paper roll.
What is this?
It's a
I
toilet
assume it would
paper
be very
roll
recognizable.
owned by Standard Chartered.
No, it's standard and chartered. It refers to the kinds of buses that go by it. That's
Well,
is that
Standard
a
and
tuk-tuk?
Chartered is a company.
Is it?
Yeah,
It is? Okay, I was wrong then. I'm sorry.
but yeah, that's a roll of toilet paper.
There was also like a little tuk-tuk there. The
Look,
three-wheeled
Guessing
vehicles.
correctly is currently secondary to figuring out what the fuck this building is.
We're in India, I think.
ONGC?
Or Thailand.
Yeah, it could be Thailand. Also.
What is the ONGC? The C presumably stands for center, but it's the center of what? The universe?
It is very science fiction looking.
I hate
You're
this
very
thing.
science fiction looking.
Can you imagine, like, if you lived here, you'd have this fucking thing staring at you every day?
And it's covered in windows. Like, those are windows.
It's like the
blue
world's
things?
worst office building. It looks like a thick spyglass.
For people that wake up every day and they're like, I think that life could be more like Gattaca.
What is Gattaca?
Oh my fucking
A
god.
a science fiction movie from the early 2000s.
Look, I recall actually watching that. I can't remember what class when I was in school.
Was it any good?
It's it's not completely awful. It's just, it's
A ringing endorsement.
I didn't find it terribly interesting.
If you can think of what a low-key generic sci-fi movie about a dystopia using genetic engineering would be like, that's Gattaca.
Huh.
Basically.
I think that the director also did In Time with Justin Timberlake.
Ah, yes, my
Huh.
favorite science fiction genre actor, Justin Timberlake.
To be fair,
Probably.
that one had an interesting premise.
It's just kind of inherently funny to think of Justin Timberlake in any kind of sci-fi situation.
Fair.
Other
I
than
mean-
other than the cover of Future Sex Love Sounds, I guess.
Like, other than fucking a robot.
Yeah.
You think that the subject of Love Stoned is a gynoid?
Quite possibly. Also,
Yes.
Also, I
I-
mean,
Either way, I think she
the
knows.
there is the video. There is the music video for "Filthy,"
I
where
Oh,
he's
God.
Steve, where he's not Steve Jobs.
That was a repressed memory.
And
I feel like the
That
world
song
as a
has-
whole.
that song has the bit where he goes, "What you gonna do with all that meat?" And then there's a lion.
No, that's when he replaces the word meat with a beast.
Oh,
I
oh.
don't think that song is like totally awful.
No, I find it's not totally awful, it's just bizarre.
It is really funny though.
It is a hilarious song, and not entirely intentional.
Not at all intentional, I don't think.
Like, do you think
What's
that
he
he was
gonna
totally
do?
unaware of what he was doing? when
What's
wrote
he gonna
that?
do with all that meat cooking up a mean serpent?
And then, what you gonna do with all that beast? And then, like, what the hell was he thinking when he made that song?
I'm disappointed that people seem to actually enjoy Justin Bieber's Yummy because it gives me similar vibes.
No, that song is worse.
I don't think I know that one actually.
It is awful.
Maybe I should be
It's
happy
real
for that.
bad. Like,
It's awful.
Filthy is at least funny.
And like I don't even get angry with Justin Bieber that often. It's just, God.
We were in Mumbai.
Oh, we were in
Of course.
Mumbai.
Should have known. I don't know why I said that.
I don't know. It's just obnoxious.
Yeah, I don't think I know that song. Which I guess I
It's-
should be happy
It's
for.
probably for the best.
Bar Soul. Is that a banana in a coffee cup? Hold up.
No, I think it's
Oh, it's
a
the sun. Alright.
yeah.
That's-
It's the sun bar.
That's more confusing, actually.
I mean, it could be a slice of lemon in a teacup.
Maybe?
The best
know.
part of waking up.
Oh, nightclub, and then it's next to Bar Sol, which is, a sun.
I wonder if they're
Bar.
owned by the same people.
Wait,
wait, is
they
that-
are. They have the same, sun logo.
For like half a second, I thought that was fucking Big Ben.
That is not
It's
fucking
not.
Big Ben.
It's not, no. Luigi!
So,
Luigi!
okay, we are in, somewhere in Italy.
Yes.
Spazio Commerciale.
Also, hey, I forgot to read out donators at the first ad break, so somebody remind me to do it at the end of the show.
Barbiere.
Which is gonna be in like 10 minutes, because we're at the end. We're pretty much wrapping up, and also, I'm not feeling terrific, so,
Oh.
yeah.
I am going to guess Milan.
Yeah, that seems like as good a guess as any.
That's north of Italy.
Yeah. Hey!
Oh!
You're right.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, the architecture is kind of boring, and it's like, one thing I
Thank you,
remembered about
Alice.
my mom said about touring Italy was that Milan, of the major cities, easily has some of the most modern and least interesting architecture in Italy.
You guys want to try steps?
What does steps
I don't know.
pertain?
I have no idea. Let's find out.
We'll take it one step.
What is
I
Senti
understand.
asking me?
How does Shredney feel about the fact that Milan, Ohio is pronounced Milan?
That makes me kind of... It would make me very, very angry if I were capable of being, like,
Oh, Ohio and Kentucky
Just
are just rolling in
feeling things.
in shit like
Yeah,
that.
right,
You,
Shredney?
you got
I
got
don't know.
Versailles, Kentucky.
Oh
You got-
no!
You got Athens.
Marseille.
How do you spell Athen? What?
Athens is Athens. It's just
Athens? Athens?
they say
Okay,
Athens.
wait a second. Okay, this looks like is this Ethiopia? They have those sort of things, like the underground kind of, or it might be could be a number of places.
I have no idea.
This is like former
There's like plaques and shit. Let's see if we can read any of these. No.
yeah, that
Um,
I wish we could.
Rio Grande.
Really?
Look, there's better ways to come up with like city names that are unpronounceable to outsiders,
Jesus Christ.
like Nottingham
Or
or
you
or
know,
Schuylkill.
or Bala Kinwood.
What's Bala Kinwood?
Bala Kinwood, well, it's Bala and Kinwood are two smaller areas that is like the greater areas referred to as Bala Kinwood. It's
Or
just
India.
outside of like Philadelphia, and it's well, technically it's within Philadelphia County.
Okay, we were in fucking the wrong
Gujarat.
part of India, but sure. I'm starting to understand why this map is called Steps.
Oh, also, we can't forget about Cairo, Illinois.
Caro.
Cairo.
Ugh.
Cairo, Illinois.
But Bala Kinwood is in what it was founded by the settlers of the Welsh Tract, who bought land from William Penn back in 1701, and they spoke Welsh.
This feels like Seattle to me. Anybody else getting that vibe? We can't move, so
I don't
Sure.
know. Well,
that?
Tower Bridge
Oh
is
no,
right
that's
there.
the London Bridge.
all right. Well, not Seattle.
When I come to the club, step aside. Oh shit.
How come every
Prophecies gonna
time
be heavy in the mind.
you come around, my London Bridge wanna go down?
Like Lundy.
Not Seattle. What if we founded a city and called it that?
It'd be about as on brand as us naming New York New Amsterdam, and then renaming it New York.
Is there a New York yet?
Well, that's the setting of Futurama.
Hold on, I'm just gonna look this up real quick. No. Appears to be the answer to... Wait, hold on. No,
Other
I
use.
guess. There are only fictional examples so far. Tragic.
Thus far.
So far, the newest York is New York, and the newest Jersey is New Jersey.
However, I am going to note that New Delhi is just the city of Delhi. It's just the newer part of it.
Right.
Old Delhi is just Delhi, but it is actually does refer to a specific region of Delhi, which was a fortress.
It's an extra deli. It's a deli sandwich.
Yeah, we only got Futurama results as my roommate correctly
and Doctor
predicted.
Who results.
And Doctor Who.
Newer York.
Doctor Whomstuff. Newer
Newest
York.
York.
Third York.
Slightly old York.
Middle York.
New York
We're clearly in
is
a
New
museum
York
of some
without
kind,
you, love.
but like,
So few of our old crew.
Lexi, that's not just you. Doctor Who is not quite as prevalent as it was a decade ago, courtesy of the fact that I don't know. We've gone through 2 Doctors since its heyday, I guess, and the show was also on hiatus for a good while, like between when they were essentially handling the transition period between Stephen Moffat's last season as showrunner and Chibnall first, which meant that the show was off air for a good 2 years or so, save for a Christmas special and like a couple of like special episodes here and there. It made it so that the show kind of had like a bit of a weird lull in its activity and everything. So by the time the newest season rolled around, people kind of forgot about it.
more like Doctor Who gives a shit. Thank you, I stole that joke from somebody else. Don't laugh at it.
Admittedly, I do want to check out the new seasons that they've got.
I think you just made half of the population of the United Kingdom very angry.
Good.
But yeah, I want to try the new season that they've got coming up of it, and by extension last season, because I feel like Jodie Whittaker, the actress that they chose for 13th incarnation of her, seems like a good choice.
She does.
She's a charismatic young lady.
Yeah, it's. Yeah,
I have no idea where we are. There's all this text and I can't read any of it.
Yeah, this looks like.
I think somewhere in France, because there was.
Yeah,
that
I
one
was also
sign
gonna
in
guess France.
I'm gonna guess we're in Paris. I don't know.
Guess Versailles. That's outside of Paris. To the north.
Versailles.
We were in Blois, or
What?
Chambord.
Or Chambord.
Yeah.
Chambord. The Chateau de Chambord. What?
Chamble.
All right.
Well.
Just a random step, like a random staircase outside of an Exxon, and God knows where the fuck.
Well, it's a self-serving gas station, so it's not in New Jersey.
Wait a second.
Or
I mean,
Oregon.
this could be my neck of the woods.
As good a guess as any, right? We can't move.
Okay, just throw it down on Philadelphia and see what happens.
Hey, by the way, this song goes. What the fuck? We were in Washington.
Oh, we were in Washington.
DC.
Oh, huh. Okay.
So Philly wasn't actually a bad guess.
Yeah,
Another one where
I
we
mean,
can't. Hold on.
Oh no, this is actually
That
Philly.
definitely is Philly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is the. Actually, I can get this within like
Yeah, I've
Less than a
been
block.
here. Yeah.
Let's get this within less than a.
There's the Rocky Steps.
Now, in what part of Philly is this? I don't remember.
Go central Philadelphia, like smack dab in the middle.
Is it
See,
the
it says
Museum of
Philadelphia
Art?
Museum of Art right there. Zoom,
Yeah, okay.
zoom real close, and
It's
then
the
it's
Rocky
the
Steps, yeah. Perfect 5,000.
Damn. I think that alone salvaged this run.
Alright, well, we don't have time to do another one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up our supporter list for this week, and I'm going to read it out, because I forgot to earlier.
Okay.
Let's see here. Pop on over to Ko-fi. Ugh. Let's see. My page. Okay. On the Ko-fi side of things, thank you to Go Busto, an anonymous donor, and You Know Who I Am. How ominous.
You know who I am. I'm
For-
fucking club.
For their donations on that end of things. And on Patreon. We'll load it up. Oh no, I've been logged out. I'm gonna have to log back in. Take 12 full seconds. Patrons relationship manager. I hate that it's called that. Thank you to Alice H, Lee C, Lexinator, Michael M, and Sam C. No relation. For the support on Patreon. That's gonna do it for Shapes and Forms this week. We would like to thank you all for coming out. We're going to be back with another
Yes.
show next week. We might do a retro game roulette next week. I'm not sure. We'll see what the general vibe is. Either you two got anything you want to plug quick before we go offline?
Not really. I think I'm just gonna go to sleep.
All right.
Drink some coffee if you want it, or some chamomile tea if you don't. Good night.
Fair enough, yeah. See you, folks. Bye-bye.